We're all here. Weird coincidence, I know.
Yeah, it's
Might as well play some D&D since we all just randomly turned up at this predetermined time.
yeah. Well, not at this predetermined time, but at a time almost an hour later.
I
But
was
that's fine.
only 10 minutes late, but I was also very hungry. I went to Wendy's.
At least you didn't go to Taco Bell. So anyway, last time on Sav Wars, the party finished up on Takodana, did a dungeon, found out that Professor Jones had been dead the whole time. Spoopy. He was just a Force ghost. But our
You just
intrepid...
didn't want to say the dumb name anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. But
So Nej was a great dude.
It's a pity. I like the guy.
yeah, he's a good guy. But it's fine, because he left behind at least a wife that you know the name of.
Hmm. And he left behind a droid who has now joined our bandy group.
Yes, you have Vito, his astromech droid. Beep boop.
And also any personal effects that were on his ship.
That is true. Do you guys want to spend the time looting his ship?
You say
Well,
looting.
It is
mean,
literally
again,
looting.
it
you
is.
say- Well, you say looting, but because Lilesh is his friend, technically the rest of us are looting, and Lilesh is gathering his personal effects.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
keeping
That's
them.
no, I mean, he's got a wife that we've heard of, remember?
Yeah, are you actually going to go deliver the shit to her, or are you just going to keep it?
I guess
does
it
she
depends
live?
what it is. Hopefully we'll find out stuff about that.
Well,
we lose
no,
shit.
Wasn't one of this, if we use D&D terms, one of Lilesh's bonds? Like her mentor, right? That's what this person was?
No, he's just an associate.
Oh,
Just a
okay.
colleague.
For some reason, I thought he was a mentor. Never mind. Carry on.
Yeah, we know each other in a professional capacity.
Look, he's dead. He's not using any of it.
Hey, it's
and the DCL
professional
excuse
courtesy.
comes out. All right. Do you
Hey, it's a
liberate his shoes, DCL?
He is
Well,
dead.
Don't
No,
open that
no.
door.
Okay,
He's
so
not-
Lilesh is an archaeologist, right?
Uh-huh.
So, the person has to be dead at least 500 years before she can touch it, otherwise it's grave robbing. If they're dead beyond 500 years, it's archaeology, not grave
Excuse me.
robbing anymore.
What grave?
Yeah, his ship is his... Whatever. You know what I mean, DCL. Don't be a pedant.
Look, all I'm saying is that legally speaking, you're just robbing this dude. But,
All I'm saying is that legally speaking, I don't see no fucking police.
and that's true.
Okay.
I mean, you're not going to get in trouble for this, probably. I'm just asking if you want to steal all this guy's stuff.
Listen, unless...
Again, it depends what the fucking stuff is.
Alright, well, Vito will let you guys onto his ship. It's a small, like, two-person launch. It's probably had a hyperdrive bolted onto it at some point, just to minimize cost. Like a third-hand hyperdrive at that.
Yeah, yeah.
I will
The only
take-
things of value you find other than his, like, clothes and stuff, he has a rack of spare parts and fuel canisters, so you can reinforce the dame's supply of emergency parts.
If there's like a med kit on board, I will salvage any medicinal supplies, just so we have them on board.
Yeah, you can salvage the equivalent of one med pack,
Extra cherry pops of morphine.
pretty much. And tucked underneath the bed in there, you find a blaster carbine.
I
I
will
mean-
ask Vito if this was actually his or if it belongs to someone. Like, is it tagged?
Vito will beep at H1, who can translate that belonged to his wife.
Oh, well, she'll probably fucking want it back then.
Yes.
Alright, going through his personal effects, can we find things like the address of his wife?
Yeah, it'll be more like going through his computer, but the
Sure.
last time he had an address on her, she was working at a military garrison on Coruscant.
Okay.
Keck.
Rather than having liberated that from his ex-wife. Do ho ho. Well, if there is an address or any kind of information, I will, put together a letter to send her.
Yeah, there's definitely a HoloNet address you can get access to.
Sure. Give me some time and I'll pin something together.
Okay.
What was her name again?
That's a good question. Let me see if I have that written down somewhere. Genava. And as you continue to scroll through his recent communications, it looks like he had a son named Averick as well, though the last communication
Can I have
was
their spellings?
5 years ago. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, other than the various knickknacks, it doesn't look like he used this ship as some sort of major base of operations. There's not much to really salvage here of value. So, once you have whatever salvage you'd like to claim, what would you guys like to do next?
I've already fucking forgotten. We
Our-
need to
our
go
active
call her,
quest.
was it?
Well, our active quests are either find my sister.
I would like to mention we were already on Find Sister. In fact, we flashed back to loot this guy's ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a hyperspace course plotted, you guys.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that the active quest we have, the one we have are on currently is find my sister. But if you guys want to deviate, as I know we do, there are 3 other ones, like the stealth drive.
Yeah, you have Stealth Drive and now Genava lingering on Coruscant.
It seemed like Sister Quest was actually somewhat urgent, so let's just do that.
Okay, so at a guess it's 8, 16, 22, 24 times 2. It's going to be 48 days in hyperdrive between here and there. So, a solid month and a half of being cooped up with each other on this ship.
Savin, I'm fairly certain all of these little deviations were stops we were making.
Okay. So you will be, how much time are you spending at each stop? Is it just, a day or two, or are you trying to get, a week of shore leave? Because, I mean, unless you're taking several days off, this is going to be a fairly miserable trip.
I remember we were already there at the place we were going to, weren't we?
You say miserable trip. It's only miserable if you remember it. I've set up a still.
Okay, so we're buying lots of hops and grains at Alderaan, I guess.
No, this is a still, not a brewery.
I don't know. I guess I find out hyperporn and just wank myself into a coma for a month.
Jesus.
I'm not actually.
Tell you what.
That's the
Well,
DCL
because-
solution.
Remember, my character is a mix between Garrock and Hawkeye from MASH, and yesterday was a really great year.
We know.
So, yeah, I just need to stop off for just a few grain mash, and we're good to go.
Alright, so is anyone not getting aboard Operation get fucking destroyed over the course of this trip and just,
Also,
like, pray
Hey.
to the gods of autopilot and H1
Yeah.
to just get you
also,
there?
I do have a question,
Yo.
though. Okay.
I was just answering Saban's question.
I didn't hear it, because stray.
Sorry.
Yeah, I am not going to get completely shit-faced. That seems like a terrible idea.
So, how, just out of curiosity, how are you calculating hyperspace flight? Is this like official canon stuff?
Yes.
Because this is actually something I don't know.
Navigation is a skill. And it is
No,
one
no,
that-
not navigation is skill. I'm talking about time in hyperspace.
There's a table in the rulebook,
Yeah.
and Saban can use that to make rough approximations.
Yep. So if
So-
you get your measuring tool out, you'll note that there are units on the map that are hidden
Wait,
from view,
oh.
but you can see them on the ruler.
Okay, so my question is, we're only going from like here to over here. It
Mhm.
seems like the same space from Tatooine to Alderaan, but it didn't seem to take that long in episode 4?
Yeah, that's because the people who made the game, they did not make it the way George Lucas made the movie. They subscribed to the, they subscribed to the old role-playing game thing where travel takes time rather than just happening in a small scene of Luke being buzzed by a training droid.
It's also worth noting that the Dame's hyperdrive is bad. Like, the
the
Dame
best.
has a ×2 rated hyperdrive, which means that, say, the distance between Takodana and Alderaan is normally 8 days for a basic ship. For you, it's
No.
16 days.
I would buy that because the Millennium Falcon had in universe literally the best engines they can slap on
Yes,
it.
the Millennium Falcon has a .5 hyperdrive, meaning it just takes 4 days to get there.
Okay, never mind then. I was just curious as to why it would take so long.
Yep, and that's why. You can, at your leisure, spend credits and skill points to make the hyperdrive less bad. But for now, it is a old military-like pushed into service hyperdrive. Good enough
Or
to get you
instead
there
of time
eventually.
and credits, we could do it via salvage.
Yes, you could in fact go find someone with a good hyperdrive, blow up their ship or hijack it, and steal their hyperdrive.
Salvage
I
does
mean-
not specifically mean you had to destroy someone to receive it.
I
mean,
mean, you don't
it's-
find a lot of good hyperdrives just sitting around, let's be honest.
It's the same difference to my character.
Jesus Christ, white people, it's like you've never stripped a car of its engine.
Fucking hell.
DCL.
Everyone turns to just stare at DCL.
Anyway, so back to the question at hand. The Doctor is trying to get blackout drunk so that this trip passes in blissful ignorance. H1 is a
Listen.
droid, and the passage of millennia has no impact on her.
Unless there is a medical emergency. My Sith purebloods live for about 1,000 years, and I don't want to remember this particular time of my life.
Great.
Alright, so Stark, Lil, and Cal. What are the three of you doing to pass this time?
I was raised in a fucking dark hole. This is nothing.
I know what
I'm
Lil
an
is
ex-soldier.
doing. Lilesh is just practicing her gambling.
No, she
Aw.
isn't. I keep trying to say as well, but I kept getting cut off, so I've fucking nearly given up on it now.
Alright, Scout, go.
I'm training in lightsabers, so I'm fucking abducting Cal to help me swing around lightsaber and not die. And I will inform him that I don't know or care how the Sith did it. We're not going to be practicing with them actually lit, because I'm not retarded.
Do we have more than one lightsaber?
Yes.
I don't remember getting another one. Sorry.
That's because you were drunk.
You were dead.
We started
Was I
with one.
not here or drunk?
You were that. You weren't around.
You were dead drunk.
It was just before Ash died.
Oh, no, I remember now. Never mind. Sorry. Yeah, we took it off that guy we killed, right?
Mm-hmm. And Cal started with one, so we have two.
Neat.
Yep.
Do we have any, like, training blades? Like, Jedi training blades that we could use?
Just use fucking sticks or vibro knives.
You find a pair of spare pipes in the spare parts kit and just beat each other with those.
Yeah,
Clang,
whatever
clang,
fucking
clang,
works.
clang, clang.
Alright, so since you're not going to let us practice with live blades, I'm going to have to make some sort of concession to remind you to make sure not to hit the blade with your own body. So every time I see the stick touch your own body and it's your own sword, I'm going to make you drink a mouthful of castor oil.
Okay. I would rather just be fucking tased, but at least it will make my fur nice and soft.
It's all to make sure that you remember in the middle of combat to not cut yourself, because you'll be amazed on how easily that happens.
I mean, I don't feel like I would be amazed that there's a blade of barely restrained plasma.
I did actually like the Sith version of that where they just had a sword covered in
poison
barbs.
sticks. Yep.
It wouldn't hurt you, it would just numb you.
Oh no,
Yes,
it would hurt too.
Well, it hurt, but it wouldn't, like, permanently hurt you. It would just,
Correct.
you know,
Well, we don't have any
Please
of
continue.
those,
No,
so we'll have to make substitution. Since Lilash is actually correct, trading with live lightsabers is rather foolish.
we don't have a way for alternative means. So I instead recommend that. We'll use pipes, and sure, I will drink castor oil, whatever. By the end of it, my fur is looking sleek, and my mouth feels like crap. Yeah, that was that. And now I have I spent the skill points. I now have parry and lightsaber.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, I'll secretly make sure to teach her more defensive techniques, since I was taught the suicidal method of lightsaber fighting.
Do you know how to teach anybody defensive techniques?
I feel like I
mean,
almost
sure, it's
figure
just
out
the-
how to teach them.
It's just the techniques that don't involve flinging your body head first.
Oh no, I never needed that kind of training. Don't you worry.
All right.
Yeah, do you want to do a test roll and see how it would turn out?
I'm afraid to say yes.
Yeah, I would like a lightsaber roll from both of you guys just to see how things go.
I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Was this game made before they did all the forms?
Yes, yes.
All the what? Oh yeah,
All the
God,
lightsaber
yes.
forms, yeah.
This game came out immediately after episode 6, which to them
Really?
was episode 3.
The first piece of the expanded universe.
Yeah,
That's
this
right.
came before the expanded universe.
God damn, you really do roll a lot of dice.
Yeah, it was hot garbage still, though.
Yeah, whatever. Is there anything that gets added to a lightsaber roll?
Nope.
Nope. You add your control to damage, but presumably you aren't
that's
trying to
fine. I
beat
don't
each
have
other
it.
senseless.
No, and I also don't have control. Let's see
yeah.
here. I will try a melee parry for 27, sure. I mean,
If you had
frankly,
been full
I'm
defensing,
rolling. Yeah. Frankly, I'm rolling sweet. Oh, wait, no, there's supposed to be an extra dice because lightsabers get +1 parry, right?
Right. House rules.
Not that, even though now we have seen, like, I literally can't possibly roll that high, but.
Hey, at least you didn't roll low enough to cut your own self on your blade.
Yeah, no, I actually rolled Tasty Sweet Fire. I'm sad that I gave up all those 6s on a test roll, but, you know, whatever.
So, Doc, would you make me a strength roll?
Doc?
That's
Oh.
you.
Hang on, let me open this. Star Wars role-playing game, blah 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 blah. What is my strength? Okay, it's 3. Do I have any modifiers?
Nope.
Okie dokie. Oops.
Alright.
I
Don't
clicked 10
accidentally
without.
hurt yourself or have any lasting consequence from drinking yourself numb for over a month. So good job there.
Wow.
I mean, there is actually a precedent for this in Sith culture, in that they literally drink poison that would kill the rest of anyone else who tries it.
Great, except you are literally trying to get sloshed, so presumably you're going beyond that natural toxicity anyway.
Yeah. Alright.
Mad.
Well, in that case, at the end of this month, you now have an immunity to alcohol.
Oh, that would be so savage.
Well,
No, that'd be like a nat 1 roll.
it's less of that. More the just a bunch of stupid stuff that they wrote in for the Sith pure blood background, which is why they're immune to the venom of those one hounds that run around on Korriban. I forget what they're called. What are they called? No, not the Cath hounds. The little monster dog things.
Yeah, whatever. Carrying on.
Fine.
Alright,
we're just very good at getting
Stark, if
sidetracked
you
in
want
this.
to take on some luxury goods or whatnot to transport along, you may certainly make a bargaining roll at
Or are
Alderaan.
you going to rely on me to geomance for you with a 5?
You are considerably better than me.
Sure. And I get +1 for each person?
Yeah, which basically in this case is just Stark, because everyone else is busy
Makes
or
sense.
socially inadequate.
18.
Alright, 18. Also, Lil, would you like to make a planetary systems roll, knowledge, about Tuscora, your destination planet?
Sure. $11.
Okay. That's enough to know that Tuscora is a desert planet, a hot, harsh Tatooine-like world with very, very bad weather instead of shitty primitive raiders.
Right.
So anything that has to do with like cooling off, water purifiers, air conditioning units, that sort of thing would go for a premium on Tuscora.
Yep, also survival gear, and perhaps some survival gear for ourselves, because it's always good to have that shit on hand.
Yes, if you guys want to purchase survival gear, that is in the equipment roster handout.
Wait, you say we're going to a desert planet?
Uh-huh.
A very stormy desert planet.
Yes,
I
very
might
stormy.
want to actually bump up my control.
Yeah. I feel like, given who we're going to meet, my Republic trooper armor is probably a bad move. So
Yeah, this is not a planet where Republic troops are welcome.
yeah, even
Fuck it.
repainted it.
Okay, how distinctive is Republic combat armor, though? Can you just
I mean,
like
it's like
scrape-
Stormtrooper armor. It's recognizable
But-
anywhere, even by people who have no real connection to
Can't
the
you-
Republic.
But can't you just scrape off the Republic thing and just repaint it?
Even repaint, like, imagine in our cultural context, Ray, you can recognize Stormtrooper armor anywhere. It is a cultural touchstone. Same here. Like, it does not change over thousands of years. It is the same fucking suit of armor from Tor
my
to
point
the
is-
First Order.
My point is, if we're taking like real life experience, body armor looks pretty much the same across different countries. The way you can tell is by
Yeah.
like the
Right,
color
but we're
and the
not
make.
talking about like a real life analog. We're talking about the cultural analog of this particular armor. It's like All right, if you want a real life example, we're talking a fucking Hugo Boss Nazi uniform, right? That is recognizable.
Yeah, I guess. I was just wondering what the difference was because Mandalorian armor does look similar for a reason.
Like, you could go out of your way to get it
that
modified
similar.
to try and, like, cover up the armor, but...
Yeah, I
like,
didn't
you
mean
can't
like
just,
the
like,
helmet
repaint
and
it.
everything. I meant like the chest piece. If you wore like just the chest piece and greaves, would it still be that standout?
Probably.
Okay, okay. I was just wondering.
And also, if I wore just the chest piece and greaves, then that wouldn't be the full thing with its like climate control and mask filter.
Okay, I
And
guess.
so a desert would suck.
Oh yeah, I'm in scout armor. Woo!
I will spend 90 XP to take my force control from 3 to 4.
Jeez.
Okay.
If you I can afford this from my leftover allowance. I'll buy an exposure suit Arad.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone else has any survival gear they want, I will tell you that, yeah, like, an exposure suit is good. Considering how awful breathing in a storm is, if you can't afford that, just like a breath mask would probably help you a lot.
Oxygen reprocessor.
Mm-hmm. That sort of thing.
I've got all that stuff in my suit, but I am the kind of person who would carry an extra reprocessor anyway.
It always helps.
Yep. I will get that and an exposure suit, because maybe someone else will need an exposure suit. It doesn't have to be carrying.
Would a droid require something to protect them from the elements?
So, you won't suffer any physical harm from the elements, but it is possible for sand to get in your motivators and gears and start,
Oh,
like,
boo.
making you work less efficiently.
It gets in everything.
Yeah, it gets in everything. So, having something like a big canvas poncho or some such would certainly improve the amount of time you could spend in a storm.
Would it work to just spend the equivalent of, like, work clothes?
Yeah. Also, yeah, you
100
can
credits.
totally buy WD-40. It'd probably be like 5 credits for a can.
Yeah.
Also, incidentally, if you want to put a restraining bolt or get a control chip for Vito,
Nope.
you can do that.
Absolutely not. He's a good boy.
He is a good boy.
And look, if you're going to be traveling across a sandy shithole, there's nothing you want more than a protocol droid and an astromech. I'm not going to lie, I've seen how it turns out. It turns out okay.
It's true. It's true. Speaking of which, H1,
Yeah.
you have a new little droid buddy who's accompanying you on this trip.
Yeah.
And he is an astromech droid, which incidentally means that you have a lot of overlap in terms of skills.
Hmm.
He is, or sorry, no, you don't. He is good at starship repair and computer repair.
Ooh.
So if you have any like repair work you need done on your internals, or if you think the Dame needs any assistance, he is more than happy to help. Or failing that, he would love to network with you to create the robot hive mind.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, that's real cute.
Yeah, in fact, let me make a copy of his little character sheet here, and I will...
How good is his droid repair? Mine is at a mighty 3.
His droid repair is actually non-existent. He has computer repair, so
Ah.
he can't repair her like exterior shell, but he can repair H1's like in her electronic brain.
Please don't poke around in my sweet, sweet droid's brain.
There you go. This is what an astromech droid do. He will die instantly if shot. By the way.
Well, yeah, but he'll also make that iconic.
So yeah, between Super Spy, Veto, and H1, you can totally begin like Skynet in here. By which I mean
Yeah,
just create a network.
Yeah, I mean, we have a professional power source and diagnostician. We have software and electronics repair, and then we have a spaceship pilot. The only thing you guys can't do amongst all of you is fix yourself, so you still need the meat people. Oh, okay, Kakadori.
Also, I don't believe they can fire the guns.
I can.
Oh no, H1 sure can fire the fuck out of guns.
Not starship guns, she can't.
That's true.
Oh yeah, right. And since it's technically its own dice set compared to normal guns, she's shit at it. Even though a good gunner is usually a good starship gunner.
I mean, it's the difference between like using a flat cannon and using a handgun, right? It is a very different skill set.
Super Spy is the most useful droid.
He really fucking is. He's an excellent droid. But he's just his specialist skills haven't really been required at this point. That said, I do occasionally, like, if I can't be bothered to get up and over to, like, a plug, I will have just, like, Super Spy just power, like, my handheld stuff. So, you know, it's like, oh, I really don't want to get out of bed, but this, like, PSP is running out of power.
Super Spy, can you come
Super
here?
Spy.
I mean, he lives for that shit. He is
Yeah,
all
he
about
loves
it.
that. He loves having that to do. It's a gift that I do for him.
Sometimes, like, someone will put a plate of food or something on top of Super Spy, and he can just gonk his way over because he has incredible, like, gyroscopes.
Yeah.
The top of his body just never shifts at all.
It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. And occasionally it'll be like you'll like put stuff on him to carry to you to charge a thing up. And for Super Spy, that's the fucking dream. That's like everything he could ever have wanted out of it.
This is a really fulfilling time for him.
Yeah.
So,
Like a month on ship is an entire month for us to get progressively lazier and lean on him to do like meaningless nonsense power things, and he fucking adores that shit. It delights him.
Oh god, it does, because he's a stupid droid. He has nothing else to do in his entire existence other than just power things. He's a fucking battery.
I love him. I love him so much. He's such a good boy.
Such a good boy.
so, while we're moving through hyperspace, is H1 needed at the helm all of the time?
Not really.
No, you have an autopilot that can keep you from like flying into
The
suns.
coordinates have already been put in and stuff, so it's just like...
H1, you got a sec.
Of course, I always have time.
Oh. I'd been thinking that if that was our old friend that Carl sensed on Nar Shaddaa, then well, I don't just want to have a blaster rifle next time we meet her. I remember hearing some old stories from the war about some commandos who did some crazy shit. Like underslinging things. And you know your way around a blaster and around some tech and around some bombs.
Correct.
So I was wondering if you know, on this leg of the journey you might lend a hand at me designing some sort of underslung revolver cannon for my rifle. Like airburst grenades and flechette shells and shit. Stuff that's really hard for for even a force user to get out of the way of completely.
It seems like a good idea. I would be happy to help.
Excellent, excellent. Thanks, Angel. I mean, basically, Seven,
Alright, yeah, you guys can definitely do that. It will require a small number of skill points to get it as like a permanent functional attachment to your rifle.
I believe I mentioned at the end of last time I was saving 10 for this purpose.
Ah, okay, well, that'll do. Would one of you like to give me some sort of mechanics roll? Or technical roll?
Obviously, I should be the one to provide that.
That sounds like a great
I can make a
idea.
knowledge technology roll.
My 1 dice of technology is obviously superior. Someone please roll for me.
Why can't you roll?
Someone other than me, please roll.
Yeah, I mean, you've got knowledge tech, I can, I am slightly above average, I can assist with that, or it's dependent on what mechanical thing it might be,
In this case, it would probably be the technical attribute. I'd say the demolition skill is applicable to getting a grenade launcher working.
I have that. I have 2D plus 1 in demolition.
Okay, well, the number to get will be 10 just to get it working during this journey. Star can provide a +1 bonus for assisting. And in fact, so too can Vito.
Yeah,
Since
I was about to say, can our other droid help?
Yes, he is a good little repair bot.
Beep, boop, boop.
Excellent, you did it. Okay. Stark, you now have a grenade launcher underslung on your blaster rifle. Would you like to test it inside the ship? It'll be great.
let's get a cartridge and just fill it with some paint. Not,
Okay,
you know,
fine.
the full-sized version?
Wait, shoot it at me so I could try and cut it in half with a lightsaber.
I mean, yeah, that's a thing you could do. It's a slow enough moving projectile that it won't significantly hurt her, despite what.
I mean,
Call
I
of
can
Duty
put
might
on
tell you.
armor.
That too.
I can, in fact, put on armor before doing this.
So yeah, would this be blaster to shoot it at, the
At
knife?
point blank range, I'd say you'd use the blaster skill, but for anything beyond that, it'll use the grenade skill.
Okay.
Okay, so what is the roll to to deflect things with a lightsaber?
Wait, I just came back. Why are you doing this?
Because I wanted to try it out, obviously.
Well, deflecting stuff with a lightsaber is a sense roll, so have fun with that.
It's her first skill, so first force skill. The one she has, so
My force skill is sense, yeah. So you make a sense roll as your defense?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay. I can't beat that.
you do get to add a 5 to your total, since this is still a attack roll. That's the base number to hit you.
Actually, for a sense, I don't think you do.
And I thought we, did a house rule where you swap them.
You do unless you take the full defense action, which presumably if Lilesh is like bracing for this, she will be.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's Ryan? What's my score then for full defense?
5 plus whatever your sense roll is.
Okay. That's
That's a number.
sure is 2d65 plus 5. Oh my gosh! I'm using up all my good dice. But I
All
failed.
right. So
Good
no,
luck.
you totally slice the canister in half, and then it beans you on both tits and sends you slamming against the back bulkhead.
Conk ponk. Huh.
And covers you in bright yellow fluorescent paint.
That's fine. I'm gonna go wash this off before it, sticks, and then just in full armor, I'm gonna walk into the shower and just do that slow turnaround. H1, can you bring a sponge?
H1!
I think you mean Super Spy, who just walks in with a little.
Oh yeah, no,
stack
you
of
can do it, but
towels.
also H1 can do a sponging. I can't see my own back.
Lilash just does the sad
I
kitty
will clean
meow.
your back. I will.
Thank you. No, afterwards I can't, but that's really cool. You guys built a cool thing, and I approve.
I think it will be very fun.
So, so how much money should I mark down in, components we went through?
Let's see. There is, in fact, a grenade launcher weapon somewhere on here. I believe.
It is 500 for a grenade launcher.
Okay, since you're making it yourself, let's call it 250.
Sure.
And then, how much damage does a grenade do? It's 5d6? Yeah. So mark off,
Grenade launcher, yeah.
yeah, just mark off 5 skill points. I think that'll be sufficient.
Can I go back to, spending 500 and all 10 to get, it to actually have a rotary barrel, chamber so I can have multiple types of things loaded?
Yeah, sure, that works for me. You create that thing that was supposed to be on top of the U.S. Army's new rifle with a 6-shot magazine behind the rifle.
The XM25?
Yeah, XM25. That's it. Little 40mm airburst.
No, it's...
You shut up. We're playing Star Wars.
Star Wars.
I really liked the OICW concept. It's a shame they could never make it a not massively oversized, non-functional piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's okay. You see the biceps I drew on Steric? You're fine.
Yeah, it's Stark could totally handle that thing. Didn't give a fuck. So yeah, you no longer have an
the crayon
underslung cannon, you have
consumers,
an
however, no.
overslung cannon.
Nice. I kind of would it be less over and more just on that diagonal mount so you still have a scope?
The canted grenade launcher.
Yeah, canted grenade launcher. And then a canted bayonet on the other side.
Oh yes, of course, going full Chris Redfield on this.
Yeah, exactly, yes. Canted grenade launcher on one side, canted vibro knife on the other.
Vibro knife?
Vibro
Oh,
bayonets
scowl.
exist in this game, I'll have you know.
Bayonet, sorry, yes. And then, obviously, an underslung lightsaber.
That points back towards
Yeah,
you
you
so
need
you
a
can commit
lightsaber
seppuku at
bayonet.
any
So,
moment.
yeah, to protect... no, sorry, an underslung gun that points backwards but over your shoulders so it can kill people behind you in case they try and
of
sneak
course.
up on
No,
you.
that's the
Maximum
overslung
freedom.
gun.
Dude, that's maximum freedom right there.
Stark is so fucking free right now, you guys.
Free AF.
Is
So
fucking Malcolm Reynoldsing through the galaxy with a machine gun grenade launcher.
Nice.
Alright, so while Stark masturbates furiously in his bunk, I think we've covered everybody's stuff. So, without further ado, or rather with a great deal of to-do over the course of 48 days or so, the party arrives at Tuscora.
Yay.
How far to the nearest hive of scum and villainy?
Oh, you. Expecting scum and villainy everywhere.
We're on the desert planet.
It ain't gonna be like this.
This looks like a Tau desert planet. It's going to be exceptionally civilized up until we're forcibly sterilized.
Exactly. Desert
Yeah,
planets
until
are
they
like
all
the
become little Vascas.
desert planets are like the Detroit of
Oh.
Star Wars.
Wow.
You were the one
Detroit
that
of
picked
Star
that.
Wars.
You don't get to go, oh.
I can feel sympathy for my own character, even if I did the thing. So yes, your ship pops back into reality over a sprawling desert planet. You can see very little, if any, green or blue on this world. It is a solid mass of whites and yellows. And it is orbiting a much larger planet, maybe 6 times its size, with an asteroid ring encircling it. This is probably a moon of that much larger world, which seems much nicer. In fact, it has a great deal of blue and green on it until you do a brief sensor scan and see that its atmosphere is highly toxic.
That's where the SAWs decided to breed.
Fucking DCL spicy AF today. What the hell?
But yes, we are desert planet. Is the city is the city ahead of us actually looking so clean?
Yes, in fact, the largest city appears to be this sprawling white metropolis of great big ivory towers and coliseums. Hover cars and small transports zip merrily to and fro in big lanes of traffic. It's certainly no Coruscant or Nar Shaddaa, but it is a fairly sizable town.
And you say it would be fine to wear the not Republican, but the Sith Empire armor, the Scout armor.
It's never safe to wear Republican armor. This is a liberal space.
It's probably not advisable to wear anybody's colors out here, but considering where this planet's located, it's probably much more Sith-oriented, whether it wants to be or not.
Yeah. I don't know, I feel like wearing scout armor that's been like forcibly scraped is going to tell a story one way or the other, and I can probably spin it either way.
Well, they have their questions, they can ask them to me.
Alright.
Besides, it's not like we're not already searching for trouble, looking for Ivy's sister.
Speaking of which, what is your plan for going about that?
Ivy, what's your plan for going about that? Right.
It's weird. Ivy's not there.
Ivy, did she get off the ship?
The ship hangs
Have you
heavily
checked
in
the
space.
still?
Oh, right.
And check under the beds as well.
I'll go fetch our friend. I'll go back into the ship and look for the trail of puke.
Trail of puke. Not inaccurate.
Do I find our drunken friend?
Or have we been bailed on? Again.
I hope she doesn't run off again. The last time she ran off, we got involved with the Imperials and Mafia and a bunch of unsavory type.
Yeah, and considering the last thing we said to her was, look, it's okay to, worry about family and do mysterious whatever it is you actually are, as well as the doctor stuff. We just wanted to know first. Didn't let us know this time. Real
We
fucking
haven't
pissed about
even
that.
landed.
Yeah, but it's fine. If you
But
found
is-
a way, I wouldn't put it past you.
Is Ivy still here?
Yeah, the ship hangs heavily in space, and the camera pans out to watch Ivy in a spacesuit just You know, flying towards the planet on impulse. Whee!
She's stolen my swoop and has somehow figured out how to sling herself into atmosphere without dying. Motorbiking out of space into the planet's atmosphere. What could go wrong?
That's honestly pretty metal.
It is really. It's how I would like to die in real life.
I feel like that's how Space Marine bike squads get down to the planet. Like, fuck drop pods, just motorbike through the atmosphere.
They just basilisk
Power
assault.
armor can survive that, I'm sure.
They basilisk war droid down to the planet.
So yeah, where does the crew find Ivy?
In the darkest, least light, polluted part of the ship.
But that's his usual brooding spot.
Yeah.
Too bad, I'm sleeping.
I'll we're on the planet, right?
No,
No,
we're hanging
you are
No.
in space over the planet.
Oh, I suppose I'll wait till we actually land before I wake Ivy up.
Put a glass of water out.
We might not want to be going and landing straight in one of the big cities.
Well, can I check for local HoloNet?
Yeah, it is a civilized planet, so there is a open HoloNet worldwide.
Excellent. Well, hopefully galaxy-wide, but you know.
I mean, the planet is covered in a network that is connected to the galactic network. Like, it's not like Tatooine where it's like Anchorhead has a network and then everywhere else is just fucked.
Fucking sucks. Everywhere else is, well, we hope your satellite phone equivalent works in a sandstorm. It won't work in a sandstorm. Okay, yeah, I would like to see what kind of, like, available places for, like, you know, landing, maintenance, and refueling, all that shit are. Would like to start somewhere legitimate.
Yeah, so this big dome building here is a cosmodrome. They will allow you to land there. That's the biggest spaceport on the planet. You can land, get repairs, refuel, all that stuff at a nominal fee. Unless you declare yourself as a merchant ship, there is no significant tax or security screening, though you guys are
We
a
are
merchant
moving
ship,
product,
so
yeah.
you would need to declare.
Yeah, I'll declare that we're moving product.
Okay. Then yeah, you will be directed to the nicer part of the Cosmodrome, wherein you can park your ship, unload your cargo, get it inspected, and taxed if need be, and on you go.
Considering I don't think we've brought anything that isn't like literally just like survival and equipment of that kind, it probably isn't going to be. Sorry, all this life-saving medication and water purifiers. I don't know. I think they're a luxury. Tax it. Tax it all.
You're joking, but that's actually what would happen.
Really? I assume in America, and because in real life that's not how it works in the UK.
But this is Freedom Land. Everything costs.
Everything costs.
What?
Now, I'm pretty sure that situation. You know what? I won't derail, but yeah, that could happen on the planet if it was bad enough,
I mean, it shouldn't be bad enough.
or rich enough. Either one.
Yeah. I don't know. If there's some kind of tax, yada yada yada, just take it out of whatever.
Yeah, it'll be like a
Profit would have made.
10% tax off the top of whatever your net earnings are.
Okay. So what are our net earnings? It was an 18. Was it an 18 bargain? What the fuck was the geomancy roll?
Yeah, it was an 18. So let's see what the local merchants can do. Wedged
Get into a
between
battle.
Free Space and the Sith Empire, they're fairly decent merchants. So let's see how they do. They need to get an 18. Okay. So you guys do not make a significant profit. You'll just make 10% above whatever you made, which will go down to 9% after taxes. So
Oh well. I don't even know how much it was that we invested.
Well, that was on you, so...
We invested 5,000.
We didn't have 5,000 to invest.
Yeah,
We
we did.
literally don't even have 5,000 to invest.
No, we didn't because we had to pay for more food and all the rest.
All right, how much did we have when we were there?
4,000, not 700.
4,500.
Then we did in fact still put in 5,000. I still have my own money. I have gambling money.
Okay.
I'll reduce my own on-hand credits by the extra 500, and we turned 5,000 into what? 5,500. Great.
54.
5,450.
5,450. Yeah. Oh well, it's better than shittle.
Yeah, it's basically enough to have paid for the food, so.
Yeah.
Oh damn. Yeah. When I come back, I'm just like fucking assholes took me for a goddamn ride.
Yeah, there's just like a legion of like humans and Twi'leks in these identical white tunics with big red turbans that just haggle you down into the fucking ground. They are thoroughly experienced in this shit.
Yeah. By the end of it, I'm just like, this is some fucking bullshit. I also think I'm engaged to one of their daughters. I don't know how. And all three sons.
I was about to say, is there any way they get less enthusiastic to try to rip us off if they see scout armor Sith with a lightsaber? But
No.
who am I kidding?
No. I'm gonna let you know right now that I'm never using any kind of like equipment and fear. None of that's gonna be business leverage. I want to make sure that does not. No. That is the kind of business that comes back to bite and bite fucking hard. I would rather get raked over the coals.
You don't overtly intimidate. You just let them know what you know.
No. See, that's already again a step too far. Letting them know you're tooled. It's like, I hope I get a good deal because I'm also packing. Like, how the fuck do you think that's gonna go down?
I mean, it's not that directly. It's just, when they think you're nobody, they're gonna scam you over like you're a nobody.
So,
I would rather they thought of me as a nobody, personally. A nobody goes under the radar.
Nobody has to pay the extra fine.
Whatever. Fucking nobody, again, isn't going to be noticed. And considering there's a Sith Lord after us, the smaller the imprint we leave on this place, the fucking better.
Fair enough.
Yeah, okay. Oh shit, money's in the party loot, right?
Yes.
So while Lalesh is performing the local dockside bargaining, what are the rest of you up to?
I guess waiting as usual. Keeping an eye out, scanning the area. I guess if anything, I'm trying to get Ivy sober. I am muted?
Nope.
Okay.
Seems like a reasonable goal.
How many cups of water I'm gonna have to help Ivy drink down?
You'd say
water.
that. You say that, but Ivy wakes up and just starts tapering off with beer.
Come on, Ivy, we're going to need you sober. We're trying to find your sister after all.
You are a champion there, Ivy.
Hold on. I've seen this before. If she's as experienced a drinker as she seems, then it's best to leave her to this.
You talking about high functioning alcoholism?
You rang? Sorry? Never mind.
That's just... That was just how barracks life was. If so long as you didn't have duty, and yeah, best way of getting off of a hangover was a little bit more.
It's called
Doesn't work for
hair of
most
the
people.
cat.
Works really well for people who have done a bit too much drinking. But you know, it's not our place to moralise or to hold an intervention. So
In any event, if my sister is here, well, since we're being all open and honest, I did try to send her a message. Haven't got anything back though. So other than that, we'll just have to look for, you know, the other red lady on this planet.
Figure
Since
this.
purebloods aren't common outside of the Empire.
What do you figure the chances are that she actually comes to talk to you without intent to kill?
50-50.
I suppose it's better odds than one can usually expect. Well, I'm sure if we can't find her, she'll find us.
Oh, our best bet would be to ask around and look for, I'd start at the Archaeological Society and look for ancient ruins or battlegrounds.
I seem to have a tendency of falling in with archaeologists.
You say archaeologist, but my sister's master is more of a grave robber.
Oh,
you expect your sister will still be with the master?
Quite definitely.
if that's the case, then it's chances of having a peaceful conversation have gone down.
I don't know what happened between my sister and her master, but I guarantee you that it's probably within her master's plans. And her master is only interested in taking... If there is anything... if my sister's here, it's because there's something interesting. It's not for the sights. It's not for anything. If you're thinking munitions or anything mundane, my sister would not be here. Only ancient artifacts.
When is the Force ever involved in anything mundane? Lives would be much easier if that was the case. But Archaeology Society first. At least Lilash will be able to talk to the people around there. She'll have it in.
Please, Lilesh can talk to everybody.
And then this is when we find out that Lilesh is the Indiana Jones, no fucking screw the rules black sheep of the Archaeology Society. The rest of them are just nerds.
I'm a cool. No, you've already seen it. Even the pasty nerd who later died to a trap, like that guy, already knew. Yeah, he had a whip and knew how to handle archaeology rocks. We are literally, in fact, what you're going to be most alarmed by is that we're going to walk into a building of mostly Lileshes.
I mean, hey, two makes a pair, but not a kind. We'll see. We'll see how awesome or not awesome the rest of the archaeologists are. Is Lilash still getting screwed under the table, or we want to start going? Man, I phrased that poorly.
Well.
That's up to you guys.
She pulled a Syrian, bet her ass on the line.
Archaeology Society. I say it's perfectly mundane and nothing could possibly go wrong.
I merely said anyone that knew anything about any historical value on this planet. How many... is this like the only city on this planet?
No, not at all.
Well, we should go to wherever we keep... wherever they keep any historical documents and wonder if there's been a break-in or any inquest by someone who looks like me, but, you know, taller and with black hair.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, sure. Works for me.
Hey,
What do I know about the society around here?
That we live in it.
Archaeological society around here.
Make a xenoarchaeology roll.
Sure. Let's see here. Uh, $18.
Okay. So you know that this planet used to be a verdant, like green and blue garden world, up until the not the Mandalorian Wars, but some conflict significantly before that. Maybe even like the Great Hyperspace War. Like something in the distant past happened to this planet and effectively glassed it. In the
Right.
ages since, it has been rebuilt as best the people here can. It still has a breathable atmosphere, making it habitable to some extent. There's still groundwater, and there's lots of ruins buried beneath the sand. Some say there used to be a Jedi temple on this planet, and that's been a thing of interest, but obviously with the Sith here, the Jedi are in no position to go looking.
Right. And you say Sith. Sith or Empire, sorry.
I mean actual Sith.
Okay. Dang.
Indeed, you've heard rumors that the actual Sith have been sending expeditions here to look for the temple, but meh.
It would be our luck to run into one of these expeditions.
Well, just treat everything as though it's going to be A-okay. We don't antagonize them, we stay out of their way. They have no reason to fuck with us. We're just a bunch of people.
You know, Lilash, I've always favored that optimism of yours.
it's not like we're actively going to be trying to butt our noses into one of these expeditions.
Possibly. Who knows? Well, only way to find out. But if worst comes to worst, and knowing our continual luck, it probably will come to worst. We'll be fine, we'll be ready.
I'm sure we'll be just fine.
Flash forward to H1 glassing an entire desert.
I'm not saying that I have demolition charges in my good smuggling compartment.
You're not saying that you would. You're just
So
saying that you have the
you would.
capability. Well, was that us going to the society to ask questions?
No, that was just Lilesh knowing things.
No. I mean, I mean, we're doing legwork, but does any of us have any skills enough to just look around on the internet?
Look around on the internet for what exactly? Sorry.
I remember Ivy was talking about starting to look for things. If her sister's with her master, looking for like, I guess break-ins would be weird if the Sith are already kind of like predominant on this planet, wouldn't it be?
I mean, that would make it stand out if that happens.
Also, be right back, bathroom. But yeah, internet. If it's a thing anybody can do, it's a thing we can do. Otherwise, it wouldn't work.
I don't know what skill roll internet would even be.
Would it be knowledge?
It would be either a knowledge roll or a computer programming roll to, like, create some sort of program to go trawl through the entire holonet on this planet and find what you need.
So you're saying veto?
And
Veto absolutely would be great for this sort of thing.
Yeah, could he do a check? In fact, he probably has backlines to, like, you know, archaeological routes.
Yeah,
So yeah, I would
that's
like to
a
ask
thing.
Vito if he can do a trawl for data.
And my other suggestion was ask around the places that have any historical stores for if they saw someone who looks exactly like me but a foot taller with black hair.
Does your sister pour herself into her clothing as well?
She prefer robes.
Damn shame.
I know, right? I told her she'd look much cuter in one of these. I think she actually wears one underneath all of the robes, but, you know.
I mean, if I were wearing robes, and I mean, I've done that before, I'd be wearing, I don't know, and she'll clunk her fist on the scout armor, or like fun underwear.
Well, I mean, her robes do have a deep V, but that's about it.
How deep?
It's something, I suppose.
I don't know, a couple
Yeah,
inches.
it's deep. It reaches her fucking puss.
I don't know, a couple inches above her navel. Other than that, everything else is kind of like a big cloak. Billows a lot. She was a fan of making sure her cape twirled just right when she entered the room.
I mean, if like the cloak was a part of the everyday ensemble, it being like billowy is pretty much a requirement.
So Stark, being heavily armed here seems to be a rarity. No one's come and tried to take your weapon away from you or anything. Even like the tax collectors, they just sort of gave you a cautious glance. And you notice that all the government workers you've seen here have had like sidearms on their hips in the port, but yeah, no one seems to object to you carrying a rifle. A few like Mandalorian mercs might glance your grenade launcher's way and be like, "Oh, that's nice," but yeah, it's no problem.
Couple fucking up nods.
I wanted to like get a feel for the place before I brought it out.
Okay, well, yeah, when you do inevitably bring it out, then it's fine.
I mean, you're gonna get Mandalorian up nods. You should totally do it. Who knew that was in the book?
It's just, I want to be able to specify what I'm carrying with me in advance of anything turning to shit.
Yep, I know that one well.
That's a smart plan, but yeah, this planet seems fairly permissive. You don't have any problem bringing whatever gear you want with you.
Awesome.
So with regards to Vito's work, if you give him like an hour plugged into some little, one of those little circular ports inside the star, the Cosmodrome, he will eventually report to H1 that he's found two things of note. The first is that he managed to punch into a government registry that includes a contract between the local planetary authority and the Sith Empire that allows for a research group to be stationed here at ruins outside of city limits that are of interest to the Empire. In exchange, the planetary government is getting assurances that they will not be invaded or attacked, and they are getting beneficial trade deals with nearby Imperial worlds.
I mean, it's all very promising, I suppose.
The second thing of note is that Vito's found some security footage of another Sith pureblood here on the world.
Hooray!
Ivy, how rare are Sith purebloods? Outside of the Empire.
Trade Mutadox.
Damn it, Ivy.
I miss that guy. It's a shame he's dead.
Oh, sorry.
How
what?
How rare are Sith purebloods outside of the Empire?
Because I keep pressing the button and I don't
We can hear you now.
Oh, I may have hit the mute button. Sorry,
For
guys.
fuck's sake.
What?
Oh,
No.
You've done it yourself, Tina. Don't
It's
judge.
true. I do it all the time.
How rare are Sith bloods outside of the Empire? Sith purebloods.
Very rare.
I may have. We may
Or-
have.
'cause-
Vito may have located your sister.
Well, because you could have asked Scout this. She played the game even more than I did. Sith
Yeah, but
Purebloods
in
out.
character discussion is better.
She's actually asking you in character, though.
Oh, okay. Well, outside of Ziost and, as in, almost 100% of my species are Force users and are Sith. So if you see them, you know them. The only other time that we've been mistaken is when we've been mistaken for Deveronians. Deveronians have
the
our
stupid
same
horns?
skin. Yeah, they have our same skin color, but they have horns. No Sith pureblood has horns.
They're also cool.
Never trust a fucking Daveronian.
So outside
one.
of let me put it this way: human blood inside the Empire, 98% of them have Sith pureblood origins. However, the only about 3% actually show any physical signs of being Sith pureblood. So you might want to double check to make sure they weren't Deveronian. But other than that, if it's a Sith pureblood, it will be very, very likely to be my sister.
Vito is insulted. Do you think he would get that mixed up?
I'm sorry, little droid. We've been mistaken. A lot of the ways I can travel around Imperial space without people coming at me without pitchforks is just saying I'm Deveronian.
The lady Deveronians all have horns as well.
Yes.
They also might be precognitive, at least a little bit.
Well, then we have the contract, so we know your sister's likely here. Now we just have to figure out to what exact area this contract portrays to.
Vito
Or did it
will
already
annoyedly beep if you want to see the fucking video or not.
Please show
Yeah, I
me.
would.
Alright. He says he's downloaded it. There's a long pause.
Nice.
There's no screen nearby.
Did you use a vast to scan it beforehand?
I will
annoyedly
hand him
asks if
my...
you think he's stupid.
I will pull out my data pad.
Yeah.
It has a holographic projector.
Alright, Vito's starting to rethink doing all this for you since you apparently think he's a moron, but alright.
Hey, what? At least, hey, the vast thing was a joke. Come on.
I assume you said something similar in character, you know. Did you scan it for any
So
kind of
it's a
virus?
very sensitive
very-
one, okay?
Very sarcastically.
Alright.
I assume a droid knows what he's doing. It was a very playful joke. I'm sorry, Vito. I didn't mean it.
Look,
there's
sarcasm
a
doesn't translate well to binary.
yeah. There's just some like disgruntled beeping, and then he will plug his little like flash drive into your data pad.
Kinky.
Would you like me to get the extra luxury oiler up for you, Vito? I'm sure Ivy will be happy to give you one to make up for it.
Weep woo.
Dude.
I mean, extra luxury usually implies no clothes on. I've only met a few droids that would actually work on.
I'm
Fair enough.
honestly impressed you've met any.
You are?
Well, you'd say that, but sure, a droid on their own wouldn't think about it, but when you stick a droid among a bunch of messy, smelly, horny sapients, eventually some things get picked up.
Hmm.
Yeah, that does make sense.
I'm not sure that's a mental image I wanted to have.
I'll look
Sure,
to H1.
Vito.
Nobody try and put penises in my lovely H1.
Sure,
I'm not equipped for
Vito,
those things.
you can get a fully nude oil massage from me as recompense. Can you please play this image, though? I want to see if this is my sister.
Alright. He will say that this is a video, not an image.
Oh, a whole
Please.
video. Please go on.
Alright, yeah. He will play the video once you've offered him sufficient bribery. And it appears to be security footage from inside a large high-rise about halfway across town from here. From the way the building is set up, it looks like it's probably under construction of some kind or undergoing repairs. There's a bunch of like steel beams laying out on the floor and big tarps over everything. And you see what is most certainly Kalisha, standing in her low-cut robes overlooking the city. She's standing in front of an open air platform. It looks like a big bay window should be put in, but it hasn't yet, so she's open to the winds. And we see a pair of men approaching her from behind. Both of them have rifles held not at her, but they are readied in hand. They seem to say something to her, but the camera can't make out their lips and it has no audio. She sighs and turns around and looks at the both of them. And then the camera just goes white with a sudden flash of energy exchange. And at some point in the confusion, a bolt of energy smacks into the camera and destroys it. And the video cuts out.
Also, props on finding a Sith pureblood that looks exactly like my art.
I know, right?
Amazing.
She's got a bit of a mansion.
Not really.
I mean, the art looks like it does.
Kind of, but if you zoom in, the chin has the same kind of point that Ivy's does.
Let me zoom in, actually, because I'm zoomed out.
Yeah, just zoom in a little bit. Her chin is a bit more defined, you know, with the...
A bit more, you say.
Yeah.
Fuck, you could grate cheese on those cheeks, man.
Yeah, but
Fucking-
you also
you really
have...
are
These are two
savage today.
different... These are two different artists.
I mean,
So
yeah.
you have to look at the level of detail to begin with, but they both have the little cheek scarring right here. Her sister has tendrils right here, but they have basically the same... Ivy's is slightly pointier, but the same kind of chin alignment and the same lips and basically the same color hair if the artist on this one had bothered to put highlights.
Actually, as an artist, I'm going to say no to most of that, but the hair I agree with. Her chin is
They
actually...
look like they could be siblings.
They look like they actually could be related. I'll give you that, though, easily.
I didn't say they were exact same. I said they were similar. There's enough of random DNA in there to make them look like siblings. And honestly, that expression on her face pretty much encapsulates her sister as well as Ivy's encapsulating her own personality. This is pretty good, Savin. 10 out of 10. Okay. So, who wants some Scooby snacks? And let's go to the building and figure out what we can from there.
I can't eat. But I appreciate the offer.
Well, let's go find out what we can, and I need to stop by a mechanic shop for oil. I am a woman of my word, after all.
Vito beeps excitedly.
And we do actually have some proper luxury oil, but if you want to...
Do we have actual luxury oil?
Given how much we've been spending on ship supplies, we fucking do.
Okay then, never
We have
mind.
some nice mineral oil.
So,
Hey,
shall we go and investigate this building?
Fine. But I want to make it clear that most of that mineral oil is treats that I bought for H1. Don't waste it all.
No, we bought her artisanal WD-40. Don't be silly.
Artisanal double.
So as you guys start heading that way, Vito will beep that he took a scan of the building and it is not tripod accessible, so he's just going to go hang out at the ship. Call him if you need anything.
Sounds good.
Alright, and he will, like, give Ivy's thigh, like, a very gentle tase on the way by, like just
I'll give him a pat on the head.
Such a deviant droid.
Again, emergent intelligence. It's
H1.
bound to happen. I'm honestly surprised H1 isn't like that, given the fact that the manufacturer very clearly went to great effort to delineate her secondary sexual characteristics.
Excuse me. H1 is a perfectly fine and rational being who just has a tendency towards explosions.
I was a custom built. I was a custom job.
Yeah, and it's definitely not her fault that I crammed lots and lots and lots of assassination protocol droid stuff into her because, you know, they're really good at shooting and it was just a fistful of useful chips out the bin.
Just don't be boring and slap a control bolt on her.
Hey.
It's so fun to see droids evolve over time. And I'm young, so I'll get like several hundred years to see how H1 evolves.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Wait, actually, don't Cathar live for like 200 years too?
I
Never
don't
mind.
think so. I'll check.
Well, because I know humans in Star Wars live for about 120 years.
They do live a long time. That's because sci-fi.
Yeah. They don't live as long as humans in Star Trek, though. Humans in Star Trek live for about 230.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I don't want to live that long. Fuck
No.
that.
It's
I barely want to live as long as I have now.
well, you've seen up to the end of Star Trek TNG, right, Saban?
Yeah.
All right, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it, even though it's a 20-year-old show. You know how old Picard is in that?
No.
Basically, yeah, when he gets old and senile at the very end, and it turns out to be a trick by Q.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's basically as old as humans get. And at that point, you know, Geordi, how he's joined him on his farm and is helping him. Geordi retired when he was 110.
Jesus.
Yeah. So humans live for a long time. Not Krogan. Sorry. Klingons actually live for longer than that. But the thing is, they have such a higher attrition rate that most of them die in battle.
Yeah.
The longest lived.
It seems.
Yeah,
likely.
the longest lived are fucking. What are they called? Space elves. Hang on.
You are all
Vulcans.
such nerds!
Vulcans.
Also,
Yeah,
no,
but-
Cathar die at 90. Our average
Oh,
lifespan
weird.
is old age is, let's see here, 66 to 89, and venerable is 90 plus.
Weird. Well, because Vulcans, people tried to originally say, oh, well, Vulcans only live to be 300 because of Spock. Spock's half Vulcan. Actual Vulcans live for 900 years.
Nerdism.
Fucking space elves.
But they have a very, very low reproductive rate.
Well, yeah, of course
Space
they do.
elves.
Space elves. I think the point stands.
I wonder
Starfleet
if
is a
Saban is-
military, yeah.
I wonder if
Starfleet is a site that the Federation. The Federation of Planets does not have a military. Every single starship up until the Defiant class was a scientific vessel.
That's so stupid.
Sure it was.
Never gonna
Yeah,
and
sure it
never-
was.
I'm saying that their official designation, the Defiant class, despite being a third of the size of the Enterprise, could outshoot and outshield the Enterprise by a factor of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Starfleet had a very good propaganda machine.
Well, Starfleet also put. You say that, but also on like their main warship, the Enterprise, if you want to call it a warship, they also allowed full families on there, which they didn't allow on
Yeah.
actual warships like the Defiant.
I hope Saban
And
isn't just faffing
so
about.
many of them.
Well, no, because we're
Were
actually
thrown
talking about
into
stuff that
danger.
Saban likes.
I hope Saban's using this faffing about time to populate this high rise with explosions and deadly traps and mimics. Because fuck you, Saban.
He's
Okay, if
in
you
on
guys want to
this
have a fucking
after-
sci-fi high-rise dungeon, we can go Mass
No!
Effect with this shit.
Please.
All right, hold on. Let me just get out my fucking robots and mercenary stat
Fuck
blocks here.
no.
I quit the game.
Ah, damn it! I'm the only one.
Yeah, you really are the only one who wants
But
to fight
high
in
rises
this
are the
game.
coolest places to have
They are.
fun in.
But
this
not
is the
a
worst system to have a
dungeon.
fight in.
Yeah, I would like. It'd be different if we were playing this, but in what's it called, Fate. But no, we're playing it in this game, and I literally can't roll for shit.
Fine, that's fair, that's fair.
This game be hard, yo.
This game is fairly brutal.
All right, fair enough. Let's continue on.
Alright, so yeah, do you guys just walk across town to the high-rise?
I mean,
I might as well. I'm gonna be
Well,
like
can-
just puttering idly by on a swoop, so I don't have to use my legs. I'm just.
I'm
chilling.
gonna call 210-333-3333. Gonna get a cab.
I assume that was a reference, but it went right over my head. But yeah, you can
That's
definitely find it.
exactly how you can get a cab in San Francisco. Area code, and then it's all threes. It's amazing. That way, no matter how drunk you get, you can still call for a cab.
Yeah, they don't have taxis where I live.
Yeah, you do live in bumfuck nowhere.
I really do. You can ride a horse, though.
And
find a
also,
horse.
it's really easy to get a permit to turn your backyard into a shooting range.
So, here's a question that defines whether you are bumfuck nowhere or not. Are you permitted to drive your herd of sheep into the center of a municipality?
What municipality?
No. The actual definition for bumfuck nowhere in the United States is: are you allowed to shoot wild game on your own land?
I would thought it is if you walked outside, you'd hear. No,
No, I'm actually talking. I'm actually talking legally, not jokingly. If you live in bumfuck nowhere like Tennessee and you're allowed to shoot game on your own land without getting anyone called on you, yeah, you live in bumfuck nowhere.
Alright, so my house isn't there, but my cabin, which is like 45 minutes away, is there. Like, you can just... In fact, I have on several occasions just gone outside and started shooting the mountain, because lol.
Fuck
Or
you,
just-
big rock! I'm a man with a gun.
Or just shooting the fucking groundhogs. They're fucking pests, man.
Hey, look, I would never ever shoot an animal unless it was threatening me. Alright, fucking groundhogs can live under the giant pile of
Okay,
rubble.
I
That's
get.
fine.
I
never
get
shoot-
that you live in a mountain range, but they're considered pests where I live because people raise cattle here, and cattle will step in their holes and break their ankles, which makes you have to put down your prized dairy cow.
Look,
I
people
never
raise
shoot
Save a
cattle where I
moon, kill
live
a
too,
groundhog.
but I don't, so I don't give a shit. The
I never
groundhogs
kill-
can come live on my land.
Although there is one thing that annoys me in that
sequiturs! Damn it, people!
who cares? We're still waiting on like Saban to actually finish all of this.
I was
Are we?
fucking. You guys keep diverting us. I've had this whole thing prepped out. I'm just waiting for you guys.
Hey,
Exactly.
hey, these were actually interesting conversations.
Yes, that's why I haven't stopped them. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
it's-
I find
It's
D&D
not
as a
waiting on
social
me.
experience, so I'm
Yeah.
not fussy. At least I'm not fussy in Star Wars.
read as this is a buffer between me and rolling initiative.
Buffer between me and the hatred that is rolling initiative. Yes. I just look if this stays like a 4-hour conversation, I can live with that.
I want to play Star
Oh.
Wars, damn it.
It's just.
I don't think I do. I just want to talk about it.
Oh. You should just run Star Wars Fate. Just throw all this
Please
in the
don't.
garbage. But Fate's great.
No, it's not. It's fucking awful.
No, it's
Ha!
not.
I enjoy Fate.
Damn it. No, we're
Whereas
still
you just haven't played enough Fate to get it yet.
Pull out.
No,
No,
DCL,
I
it's
have
fine.
played
It's time
too
to it's time to
much.
have an edition more now. Okay, even chat's like, get on with it. All right. So you arrive at the high rise. Someone mark off like 10 credits for the taxi ride. And Outside, you see a group of what you imagine to be some sort of planetary defense force. These are individuals with the same like long white tunics, but they have actual trousers on and like woven body armor vests as well as blaster carbines. And they seem to
watch out.
be locking the building down, or have locked the building down and are keeping it thus.
I'll watch out for Giant.
I think you mean Thane, but
Well, the building's locked down. That's unusual, right?
I mean, yes, this is the only building around you've seen that's locked down with a bunch of security guards.
And if
I'm gonna go up and ask why it's locked down.
presumably, Lil, because of the thing that made the security camera
Sure,
explode.
but these guys don't know that a random fucking tourist looked up footage of their random, fight that happened between a Sith and a bunch of Imperial troopers. So I'm gonna walk up there and ask and see what they say.
Yeah, so you walk up, ask them, and one of the guards, a fairly beefy Twi'lek guy, will, in somewhat stilted common, tell you
Beefy
that
Twi'lek.
there was a pair of murders here in the building, that there's an active investigation going on.
Oh, damn. I came here looking for some friends of ours. Do you have their identities? It would really kind of suck if they're dead. Haven't heard from them yet.
He will just like flat face you for a moment and then say, "These were no friends of yours."
Fair enough, buddy. But what, officials then? Not locals?
He will nod. Not
No,
locals.
fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough then. I'll look over the place casually. I'm gonna make a quick look at a thing check, although I'll take a negative on trying to make it look, like literally a casual glance over as opposed to a try and case the scene at a distance.
Okay, what are you looking for specifically? That'll help me get the target number.
Anything that might resemble like tracks or directions would run off in.
I don't think you would need to make a check. Like, no, there's no way for you to have seen that.
Sure.
From just glancing around out here.
Then I would like to look over it and for something interesting to be described about it.
Okay.
Should I succeed?
That's fine. Let's call it target number 15, since you're trying to just glance.
Sure.
What in God's name is chat talking about now?
I don't fucking know.
Just blame Stray for everything.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Let me just... Where's the kick button here?
I mean, fair.
Slash timeout.
No.
No, I'd never do that to you, buddy. Alright. Yeah, so... Again, this building seems to be under construction. There's, like, several floors that don't have windows put in. There's a bunch of tarps on it. You can see what looks like a fancy fire escape down one side that seems relatively intact. It's possible to get into the building that way if you can't get in through the front doors, but obviously there's like a security guy on the fire escape watching.
We could just try the front door.
I mean, the guards are standing at the front door, so they might take umbrage to that.
Don't we have a talker, though?
Yeah, and she just got...
I went up and did
No.
some talk and got the general gist of the brush off, and whilst at the same time, got that description you just heard.
Yeah. You can also tell that there is definitely a repulsor lift pad up at the top of the building. There's enough of a like overhang with the support beams for it that you can identify it from here.
Makes sense.
Fine. Who wants to go one by one up the dumbwaiter?
Slowly raise his hand.
Push his hand down.
Hey,
Oh.
man, that is the most, die-hard thing you can do in this situation.
Exactly.
This is Star Wars. It's not multifaceted enough.
Well,
Y'all
are we
fucking
going?
savage today, Jews?
Are we going
Alright.
into the building though?
No.
I mean,
There's
how
no-
would you get into the building?
I'm not breaking into it.
Oh,
And I really don't think there's anything to learn breaking into the building. It's just the site of a fight. We should be looking for this wherever the fuck they've gone to instead, which is a temple that they're interested in, yes?
That's an terrible investigative property. You can learn an intense amount from a fight scene, including, like...
Sure, but the fight
anything
scene's right the fuck over there! And I will indicate, behind the guards, right there, in the ground fucking floor.
Which is why we don't go now.
Yeah.
Or,
Oh.
even...
The guards look at you.
I know last time we did this, it went to shit, but if we actually want to get in, Cal, our best bet would be you waggling your little stick.
Super fuck that, no.
No, we don't do that. We just pay the criminal element around here for information. You know how much information leaks out of any law enforcement? We just pay someone for the information. Let's go. Not here.
We've been very traumatized about using the Sith disguise ever since.
Yes, as we should, because that's when it was proven to be a fucking terrible idea. And we are being hunted by a Darth. And this was the strategy that got us hunted by her in the first place.
Actually, it was me killing your apprentice.
Shut up! Playing Wave My Sith Stick is literally a 100% way to get her directly on our tail.
I'm going to throw my hands up and leave. I'm not part of this argument anymore.
It's not an argument. They're being told. It's not happening. We will fly this spaceship home.
No, I will.
I said we. I mean, I will ask you nicely to do a H1, and then you presumably will.
We can let
Yeah.
proper investigators do their work and then pay someone for a copy of the information. It's not that hard. We just need to find an information broker.
Fine.
And I'm fairly certain at least 2 of us here have connections to the criminal underworld.
Nope, just you. I am very good at talking and lying, and that gets me access to them on a temporary basis. I have cultivated no illegal contacts. I'm legitimate above-boards professor of xenoarchaeology.
Sure you are.
Sometimes we pay people for information.
Sure you are, my precious grave robber. Shall we continue? And I'll have you know I am a doctor. I just
Are you guys
happen to
having
treat
this-
a lot of patients.
Are you
No,
guys
I have
having this
already walked
conversation?
away.
Okay.
No, yeah, this
you
is
are,
a walk and talk.
Okay, good, because I was about to say, like, the guards are going to start, like, whispering in their radios, like, guys?
There's a bunch of weirdos out here, and they're talking to each other and looking at us.
If one of them keeps making a throat slit motion, I'm very intimidated.
Alright, so the party leaves the vicinity of the high-rise. What now?
I lament over the
Or
fact we will
actually,
have a highlight.
I think as you leave, we'll do a quick, like, side sweep cut to up in the high-rise where the murder happened. We recognize the same layout of the room. There are 2 very dead, probably like 3 or 4 day old bodies sitting on the floor in pools of their own blood. And rather than Kalisha, though, this time we see a woman in Mandalorian armor with a rifle couched under one arm. She's kneeling next to one of the pools of blood, scanning it with a little wrist computer. As she's working, we hear a muffled mechanical voice behind her say, "Have you found anything useful?" To which she nods slowly and says, "Yeah, I think I found a trail." She will hold up what looks like a data chit of some sort between two fingers, roll it between them like a coin. And as the woman turns, we see a fairly bulky looking robot standing behind her. A silver and black construct with a large screen face, which is currently staring at her as if it's some great cyclopean eye. And this robot has a giant shock staff held at its side. It makes a grunting noise in response and turns to walk away with her. And then sweep back down to the party, who have gathered at, like, the nearest space Waffle House.
I love space Waffle Houses.
Or, sorry, Space Denny's. There we go. That's
Yeah,
the
Oh,
yeah.
I love Space Denny's.
I hear that they're going to be turning it into Space IHOP soon.
Oh.
No, they're turning into pennies. That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
I heard the Candies was really making fun of them for it, though.
You mean Obi-Wandies?
Obi-Wendy's. Obi-Wendy's.
So, where are we gonna be going to look for this contact?
I don't know. Just pick a big shady building, and then ask a tramp, and pay the tramp. You know, except maybe this time when we do it, it won't be Sith intelligence waiting for us so they can spring a trap when we're rescuing our friend Ivy.
I mean, information brokers aren't that hard to find. You just have to look in the right places.
Where are the right places, then, Ivy?
On the internet, of course. Or whatever the internet is called in Star Wars universe, I can't remember.
Holonet.
On the HoloNet, of course.
I hate the HoloNet. So full of useless information and advertisements.
Kid, you're just mad because of that article that said lightsabers lose to flamethrowers every time.
What nonsense.
Alright. So, aside from that, Savin,
Mm-hmm.
is there any way I can use my totally not Sith intelligence training to look for information brokers on this planet? I am a humble doctor, you understand.
Of course, and humble doctors often need to find more uncommon items to treat their patients, so it makes sense you would know all sorts of things like that.
Exactly, especially when people like gangsters on, more white-collar planets get shot. They need to go to some doctor.
Of course. So, yeah, if you want to make a knowledge roll, if you have any avical skills, just add it on.
I would like to put my entire background and my entire character as +1. This is kind of my job.
I'm not going to give you a +1, but I will adjust the DC accordingly.
Oh, well, I didn't mean like a +1 dice. I meant.
Well, but yeah, that will be what's A, allowing you to make the roll, and B, setting the DC. So yeah, it'll just be a DC 10, but the higher you roll, the better the info broker you find.
This will never be bureaucracy, will it?
Bureaucracy is finding legitimate information. Like, if you want to file a Freedom of Information Act on this planet, you could absolutely go down that road and try and, like, find some detective to talk to.
I mean, it gives me another dice. Can anyone actually help me on this before I actually roll all of this?
Nope, my ability to locate things is very much a boots-on-the-ground system of asking people streetwise. I don't know what you want from me. Just don't
Great.
fuck up.
Okay.
Yeah, you're asking me not to fuck up.
Yeah, if you want, like, Star Wars cocaine, you can probably find someone who wants to deal you that, but otherwise, info brokers, and you're a total stranger on this planet. You don't have enough street cred to meet the brokers. You might find, like, a low-rank pusher that'd be willing to put you in contact with the right people if you were to, undertake some work for their local crime boss, but, you know, no such thing as a free lunch.
Just show me where to go, fuckos. I make a streetwise test. I'm just gonna be like, alright, you have fun with that. I'm gonna go do that boots on the ground thing you looked at me with derision for.
I fucking didn't.
Well, the others sort of gave me a weird like.
Would you like a company?
Yeah, please, H1.
I will be your ever menacing bodyguard.
I literally asked if any of you had any skills to find this.
You said if you had any ways to help your check, and I was like, nope.
Before that, to
Oh.
actually find an information broker, and then I heard deafening silence, so I tried my way.
I said a thing, I
I
might
did-
be muted though.
Not hear you ask, so.
Anyway,
Alright.
yeah, I'm gonna find the most legitimate of information gun brokers.
Well, that's the thing. So the roll was already made, so you're not going to find an information broker. But
Yeah.
you might find something else. Namely, when you start asking around, some of the locals will start pointing you towards a local cop who might be willing to let a few things slide for the right price.
Pay off the popo. I've got 1,500 credits. Don't spend all 1,500 credits, but I'm saying I have an amount you can add to the pool.
Before even that, I'm gonna make a fucking bargain roll.
Okay, go ahead. It'll be target number 10.
Maybe I'm just his type. Who knows?
Whew, boy.
I think that's the single best roll you have ever made.
Might be.
It's real hard to outdo that. Alright, yeah. You are able to track down this less than moral police officer, a member of the Planetary Guard. Let's find a name for this fellow, shall we?
I mean, after drinking all that castor oil, my fur is very soft and shiny.
It is, and I mean, you are just a attractive individual overall, so no real...
You found the one furry scumbag who happened to be in law enforcement. I realized I have to add that addendum.
Nice. Alright, so yeah, this Sergeant Pavin is a Miri Allen male, got himself a buzz cut and a bit of a like man bun going on. He's wearing the same uniform as the other guards you've seen, but he has several chevrons on his shoulder and a much fancier cape.
Ooh.
And you find him in the back of a like smoking house of some sort, a local gathering place where the locals partake of this strange multi-nozzled device that emits a fragrant, if somewhat intoxicating, vapor.
Yeah, I'll vape with him. Sure.
Yeah, so he takes one look at you and instantly smiles and invites you to sit down and partake of his most excellent brew.
Yeah, sure. It seems like my kind of way to spend some time. I will indeed settle down, and as I do so, I will palm him 100 credits.
Alright, yeah, he'll cock an eyebrow at that and ask, so what can I do you for, miss?
The name is Verdant. A pleasure to meet you.
Miss Vedat, the pleasure's all mine. He will make a little mock bow in his seated position and take a long drag of the space hookah.
Yeah, sure.
So, to what do I owe the pleasure?
Well, I happen to be in the need for a little bit of knowledge. And I happen to hear that you're the gentleman to go to.
That depends on what you want to know. But for a beautiful woman like you, I can certainly find out.
Sugar, and I was not expecting a charmer, and I'm delightfully surprised.
He just gives you a big old grin.
Well, you see, I'm worried that a friend of mine got into a bit of a scuffle. Happens to be somewhat connected to a couple of very unfortunate individuals who got themselves blasted by someone in a robe.
Ah, I know the incident you speak of, my dear. He will sort of look at the credit sheet and he'll palm it into his jacket and say, as much as it pains me to ask a woman for such things, to let this information slide will require a bit more than that. It is my job on the line, after all.
Ah, but of course. I'll give him the old eyelash flutter. And what might that entail?
Yeah, so he'll just, like, suck on his hookah 3 times.
Man, he has a man bun and he vapes.
Yeah.
He is a vaping man bun having police officer.
Can I please kill him? Like, I'm pretty sure I
Out
need
of
light side
principle?
points for this.
But yeah, the hookah blow seems to indicate he would like 300 additional credits.
Yeah, alright. Let's see here. I will shift them all to 1 chit, and I'll make sure that it's clean, and then hand it over to him.
Alright, yeah, he'll sort of give it a quick glance before pocketing it and saying,
It's probably one of the ones that I just like got from Nashadar, and I just like stamped some different money into, and said, untraceable.
oh yeah, for sure. He probably recognizes a Narshada credit chit too, and he nods approvingly before hiding it away and says, so, unfortunate business that. 2 men, bounty hunters, they confronted some sort of force user in the building there, and he'll point out the, like, half-leaded window towards the big high-rise on the horizon. She killed them
Right.
dead instantly.
Well, that part doesn't especially surprise me.
Now, unless this friend of yours was a bounty hunter, I don't believe he was harmed.
No, I mean, as stupendously dangerous as it sounds, I'm more interested in finding the person who did the blasting.
Ah. Dangerous indeed. She's a wanted murderer now.
Oh,
The whole
sure, but I
Planet
feel like they
Defense
all kind of
Force.
are.
The entire Planet Defense Force is looking for her around the clock.
The entire?
Hmm.
Who's got
We've
the clout
kept
for that?
ourselves to the shadows. We don't want to alarm anyone, but... And he'll lean in conspiratorially and say, it is said that she was a Sith pureblood, perhaps even a member of that dark order.
What? I suddenly yell out to everybody else, it's pure blood.
Yeah, I'll...
No, I'm not actually.
I'll-
I'm not even there. I'm not even there.
Yeah, I'll I'll let the look go that's like, oh yeah, that does indeed fulfill my suspicions. Though I won't say as much out loud. Nod a little bit. Fair enough. You wouldn't happen to have any leads, but also, I suppose, point of curiosity, who has the clout to get, the entire defense force on a single Sith? That's dangerous game.
That is why we need the whole defense force, no? After
Well,
all, if
I
a rogue
suppose.
Sith is not apprehended in short order, the rest of her fellows will not be happy with us.
No, I suppose it wouldn't do well to have them breathing down your neck.
No. So, find her quickly and quietly, put a blaster bolt in her back, and everything is as it should be.
Like, scratch my chin a few times. Huh. Alright then. Say then in our little search for her and information we actually discover her location, or happen to be the ones lucky enough to put her out of people's collective misery, who would we go to? On the down low for the rewarding.
Yeah, he will just reach into his pocket and he will take out like his actual detective's like business card and hand it to you, which has his contact information. He'll say, "If you find this woman, there is a reward out for her. If she's a friend of yours, get her off this planet or kill her, one of the two. If she is not, then should you find her, call me, and I will have my men dispose of her."
Call me
Sure
and make
thing.
sure to give you a
Yours.
proper burial.
Also, while you're at it, I'll flip his little contact card over. If you'd like to, put a little sign in a holonet number there, I wouldn't be adverse.
Of course, the personal number would
Yeah.
be my honor. And yeah, he will write down his, personal cell.
Alright. I'm going to add him to connections, I believe.
Sure.
Okay then. Investigator and quotation totally legitimate businessman.
Totally legit.
Yeah. I've just spelled business the most incorrect I ever spelt it, which is the bizweenus.
There's Queen.
This man is the bizweenus.
That's right.
He is
Is-
indeed a bizweenus.
Is the bizweenus what you used to write with, Scout?
No, the bizweenus is what he's like to give to Lilesh, but we'll see how that goes for him.
You never know. My targets tend to be of the rich nerf herding variety as opposed to the dingy salesman hookah smoking variety.
But he's such a charmer.
He is a pleasant man. Like he laid it on really, really thick, but it's cute that he tried that hard, so
He probably
You gotta give
smells
him credit
like
where
death
it's due.
sticks.
I do smoke a bunch, so I'm not in a good position to judge. Yeah, okay. I will give him a little wink. I'll take just like a very gentle half drag on the hookah just so I look good and sociable to the outside world, and then I will head off.
Alright, yeah, you get that pleasant little tingle, and then return to the blistering heat of the desert world.
Yep, pulling the fucking helmet back on again. Fuck this place! I miss a nice humid jungle.
Yeah, at least that's a wet heat.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so opposite, but it's I'm a third being. I like a nice humid jungle.
Alright, so what's the plan?
Well, I'll pass on the information to everyone, and I will assert my suspicions that there are, Sith directly and actively looking for her. The people who went and chased her down were actually just bounty hunters, right? So.
Well, the people who were looking at her were bounty hunters, and then they promptly got murdered.
Yeah, after a couple of bounty hunters got jacked, it would seem that the Sith lent on the actual local defense force. Basically, everyone at all is looking for her.
Oh, that's fun.
You know what? I know a bounty hunter. I wonder if she'd be able to give me some useful contact information.
That's a thought.
Or any of your bounty hunter buddies on this planet I'm on.
Yeah. You know what? 1 second. I will put together a short message and boop it out in the stratosphere.
So while you're doing that, Ivy, you get a ping on your comm link.
Yay!
Beep, 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 beep. You pull it out, take a look, and it's in code. You recognize that immediately. To anyone else, it would look like someone sent you a spam email. And specifically, it's talking about like breast enlargement, body modifications you can get here on the lovely Tuscora capital. But
How lewd.
once you tear through it a bit, you realize that this is most certainly the same code you sent out. And it has a short message inside, just a few words. And it is this: get out while you still can. Mortal danger. Love, sister.
Huh. That's not ominous.
That's probably fine.
That's fine.
I just came back from the bathroom. What?
Well then. Guys, my sister came back to me. She's telling us to leave right now because there's very bad things going on. I don't intend on doing that.
Okay.
At least it proves that your sister cares about your life preservation.
Yeah, that is pretty nice. Always good to
Either
hear.
that or she knows that I will ignore it anyways, so she can lure me into a trap and kill me, but, you know, that's Sith for you.
That would be
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
bad.
Let's
But-
not assume that bad.
But how about a feint? I'm a huge fan of that. How about we lay in a hyperspace course, we jump, and then immediately abort it, and then drift back in system using thrusters?
I fail to see what that would accomplish. We'd have to land back on the planet anyway.
Yeah, but we could also land on a place that doesn't have any, at least as much surveillance. And with a little bit of elbow grease, we can find out where that is.
But then we have to spend the time to circle back around. Your sister could be in mortal danger.
I mean, true, but we also don't know if she's not in mortal danger or not even in mortal danger. It's very hard to do when you're talking about Sith. At the very least, we need to disappear.
Joy.
If
Can
my
we-
sister is telling us that we should leave, then that means other people know we're here as well.
Not surprising.
Can we at least try to get... Is there any way we can get some idea as to where we might need to be when we drop back in?
That is exactly the next thing I was going to suggest. We need to go to the local communications tower.
Sure. Would you be willing to explain the full depths of why?
Well, we need to see how the radio frequencies on this planet work and where they overlap. And then land in the weakest part of that zone. A dead zone.
Right. Oh, there's an easy way to handle that. You just look for places that have really, like, cheap, shitty housing. Those tend to have pretty low stuff, although they also tend to be, like, stricken constantly by storms.
Hey, Carol, right back. Apparently, there's a bounty.
Well, I am giving as I promised, to give all the information I have, but if you guys elect to leave, then I'm going to disappear within the populace and look for my sister.
No, no. I said I'd help you. This is my ship. I can't force anyone else to stick around, but I'm not gonna just abandon you at the first sign of adversity. The fuck?
Well, we have several ways we can do this. We could make it look like our ship was destroyed. It only requires slight theft and small tonnage of plasteel. We could do my jump in and then drift back, jump out and then drift back in idea. There's a planet right there.
Well, hold on. Let's do this shit with the comm tower first, alright?
Alright, smartest idea it is.
I'd like to make sure that we're being trailed before we try to throw anybody off our tail. I mean, the obvious answer is yes, but...
Do you actually take the same route back to your ship every time? How foolish.
Well, the problem is, like Lilash has mentioned before, we're being hunted by a Sith Master. Our ability to hide from her using the Force is very limited. If we are dealing with Force users, then throwing them off the trail by means of trickery won't do us much good. They'll simply send us back out once we re-enter the planet.
You say that, but if my sister's master is here, any Force-using abilities to find people will be muddied. And if my sister's master has taught her anything of it, it'll be hard to track her that way as well, which is why I didn't ask you to simply use your Force abilities to find her.
Is that a thing in this system?
Yes, DCL, the far-seeing power.
No, I mean like the muddying thing, because I know the far-seeing power is a thing, but I mean, like, can you hide your power level?
Yes, you can. You can choose to actively resist far-seeing, as an example. Plus, you can create new force powers by working with the GM and deciding how the fuck they work.
My sister's a powerful Force assassin. You won't find her that way.
I'm gonna look up and interrupt everyone for a moment as my data pad chirps again. Oh, so it seems that one of the bounty hunters after your sister is Carol Ash. She's very famous and very good at her job.
That's the one we met before, right?
Yeah, when we met at the auction.
Well, that's not good.
Mm.
Who did your sister piss off, Ivy?
Oh, I doubt it was my sister.
The master pissed them off.
By nature of being a Sith, she makes herself an enemy to many.
I will warn you in this event. If this person has been hired after my sister, it is probably part of her master's plan all along. Be very careful. I know that you're used to Sith running around with lightsabers screaming their heads off, like the one that's after you four. But my sister's master isn't like that.
He's one of the actually dangerous ones, is he?
She is possibly the most dangerous Sith still breathing other than the Sith Emperor.
That's a big claim. And if that's the case, then we should be far, far away from here.
Yes, I claim that, but she doesn't... Let me put it this way. A Jedi strike team was sent against her, and without raising her hand, half of the strike team killed one another when they fell to the dark side after simply a conversation with her. She didn't use torture to turn them to the dark side. She didn't use exposure to a Sith artifact. She simply talked to them.
I'm going to be painfully honest. This sounds like we're punching way above our weight grade if you're even remotely being truthful.
I am. Here's the hope. We don't attract her attention or interest, and we see what my sister is up to. Because we don't want Darth Siona as our enemy. We have enough enemies as it is.
I don't understand how seeing what she's...
Darth Siona, that's... We're gonna be helping her apprentice. It's...
Exactly.
At worst, that's gonna be an annoyance for not letting Ivy's sis be all Sithy by herself. That's... We shouldn't run into them directly unless... Well...
Again, that's not how she works.
Yeah.
I'm half convinced that we're actually here by her design to help my sister. This is how she works. If she wanted us dead, we would have already been dead through a series of coincidences which she was not involved in. I don't think she knows we exist, and that's why we should keep it this way.
So how exactly is checking up on your sister putting us in any better position? Say we do find her, and we figure out what she's doing. We're either helpless to stop her, or if we try to talk to her to make sure she's okay, her master gets involved with and decides that we are a hindrance to anything that she's doing.
First of all, her master doesn't kill hindrances. She generally uses them for her advantage, and we're just talking to my sister, and my sister is clever enough not to reveal everything to her mistress. All we want to do...
Ivy, I don't believe you. Not if you're right about how your sister's master is. That's not even an insult to your sister. That's just a thing where I don't think she can physically be that smart, or you're wrong.
We don't know. Her master is so full of questions that no one even among my family knows what she's about.
You're rather dealing with a Sith master who's so devious that we're playing a game that we don't understand, or your sister is doing something, and if we get involved in any way, we're going to be putting ourselves at a massive risk against this Darth Lord that we cannot fight.
We are or we aren't. The only point is, be very careful, never reveal your actual names, and just try to get it done as quickly and quietly as possible. Try not to be interesting, is my point. We are going into Sith politics now. This is outside the realm of your experience, even you, Cal. You were not exposed to what this was. This isn't Sith be angry, Sith smash, Sith inherit that pyramid. This is two, 3, or 4 great pyramids of power smashing against each other.
Thank you not to insult me and remind you that my father was probably an even more powerful Sith than this man.
Yeah, kids.
Man, woman.
But let's be honest, you weren't involved in that side of it. You've said as much yourself.
No,
yes.
no, I was
First of all, Darth Siona is a woman. Second of all, Darth Siona is about 2 centuries old, but appears to be human.
Once again, why are we even involved?
Because this is the galaxy at large. We cannot just turn our backs just because someone is, quote-unquote, immensely powerful. Otherwise, how else do you expect to win this war? The very Sith Emperor is about 3,000 years old.
We were never supposed to be winning this war. In fact, as far as we're concerned, we have no part of it. We're a neutral party.
Yes, and
Most I want is to stop the war from starting again. I don't want either side to win. Treaty of Coruscant might suck for a republic, but it's better than annihilation.
Fine.
yes, and I am neither overstating nor understating her capabilities. There are a lot of Sith like her, and yet there are none Sith like her. This, arguably, the one chasing us is more dangerous than her because the one chasing us just wants to kill us outright. This is Sith politics.
So, let's just try to lay out what is it that we can accomplish here, Ivy.
First of all, we find my sister, which is a personal boon for me. However, my sister can provide an incredible amount of information for us, including things that will help us dodge the Sith actually hunting us.
Okay, so we do a favor, and then, kid, we get a favor to get some heat off our back. That sound good to you, kid?
No.
Well,
So, Stark, as you're saying this, you hear a beep from your comm link.
I'm gonna check it, and I assume you're gonna want to whisper it to me.
Oh no, you get a you have a message incoming about Hutty's penis pumps.
Yeah,
Of
so
course.
I assume you're going to want to whisper what it really is to me.
Yes, that I will.
No, this is my entirely legitimate. This is a book that says Starrick and Hutty's penis pumps. They are my bag baby. Signed by one
gonna
Starrick
whisper it
Danger
to-
Powers.
You're gonna whisper it to Merzendi, but you never actually whisper me secret Imperial things. I see how it is.
Well, I
Sure
had a whole
he doesn't.
whispered message with you earlier. You can shut up.
Which you immediately exposed 10 minutes later.
I did not.
How about exposing dudes nods?
Who's
There you go.
banging on their mic?
Give
That'd
you
be
one
decent.
guess.
Oh boy. Well,
Sounds like someone got a good email.
yeah, no. Something is happening. Something really bad.
Worse than
They're not
us.
being They aren't being specific, kid. They're just saying anyone who knows this code, come help.
Is it on this planet?
Mm-hmm.
So it's on this planet, not the adjacent one over the Moonrise. Planet Rise?
Fairly sure. This is some of the most vague shit I've ever had.
Well, we've gotten 3 pieces of information. Once is a tragedy, twice is coincidence, 3 times is enemy action. So, let's go investigate your thing. It's a better lead that we have on my sister than anything else. And if it is a conflict we're looking for, well, we might be able to find out something interesting.
So,
Which of you are a good shot, by the way?
basically all of us except for Cal.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
You're not a good shot at all.
Got 5 decks. I'm a decent shot.
I mean, I've never seen you use a gun ever, and would assume
Because
you
I
never
got a
would.
lightsaber.
Yeah, so Lil is going to say, except for Cal, because you never fire a goddamn gun. I don't care what your fucking dice block actually
Alright
says.
then. Lilesh,
Yeah.
with a situation like this, would you be kind enough to provide sniper fire? I have a weapon you can use.
You're handing me a sniper rifle, you say?
I will pull out what appears to be a normal carbine and press a button.
Oh my god, the children in the background stray are next level noisy today. I don't know, that's a... How good is H1's shooting skill? Because she might be better than me. Kina?
Kina.
I was muted.
Yeah.
40.
Let's see here. I am the best shot, it would seem. So yeah, I guess I will do sniper cover.
What about Steric?
I mean, I am... I am just as good as Lilash. Like, identical role, but I'm considerably better at being hit and taking it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, if I get hit, it tends to be pretty immediately shit for me. I'm supposed to be very good at dodging, as we've seen by my actual, like, for real dodge score, as opposed to the rolls that make me look inept.
So every roll?
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean every roll? I don't know if you've noticed, but today has been a day of sick hot fire the whole way through.
I don't know if you've noticed, but today has had no dodge rolls yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyways, the reason why I'm giving this away is because the medic shouldn't be camped out on a hill hundreds of meters away.
That's a fair point. I will trade you this carbine that is not a sniper rifle.
Sounds good.
And yeah, I'll hand off my carbine.
And if any enemies get too close to you, press this button and it will fire a flash round. It will blind them, giving you time to get away.
It's always good to know.
Please don't break it. It cost me a lot of money.
That's fine.
I'm still Lilash's bodyguards. If any creatures start to come for her, I'll make sure to cut them down.
That's not... I mean, I'm going to be in sniper cover. You're going to be in the front lines, Cal. If anything, I'm going to be trying to shoot people who go near you.
Come on. Get back to me. I need details.
Give me them sweet deets.
I really hope that we aren't about to be pitted against Cairo. She was nice.
Alright. So, how long do we have to get to this new location? Do we have any time to prepare or not?
No idea.
So are we immediately hoofing it then? And
I have no idea where we're going either.
okay, so Savin, what part of the planet is this on? Is this like on the other side?
It's in another city, probably a few hours away.
A few hours away by hover bike or by ship?
By ship, probably. Well, by ship it's probably like an hour away. By hover bike it's 2 or 3.
So same continent, just a while away.
Same, yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, whatever.
Well, no, because a hover bike, I just assume a hover bike. Never mind.
It's like at car speed, right?
Yeah. So I'm assuming that gunning it. Are we gonna take our ship or aren't we?
Honestly,
I mean-
our ship is kind of noticeable. And if
it-
it's any of the agencies that we know, then getting noticed would be bad. We should probably just get a cab.
Okay. Okay, I've got mission dates.
Alright, lay it on us.
Urgent, asset in danger, critical, require immediate extraction. Paramount to Republic
spaceship.
safety. Address follows.
Alright. Spaceship then.
No.
Stark, you get one follow-up message. 2 words. War Horizon. Which you take to mean that. This is the difference between war or peace.
If... Oh.
Alright, I guess in that case...
Ivy, would you just real quick bring me one of your bottles of hooch? If we fuck this up, guys, SIS thinks this is going to turn into a hot war.
Then instead of standing here, shouldn't we be running towards the ship?
well, alright. Well,
We're already on the ship.
we're already on the ship.
Oh,
We
okay.
made it back.
It's more whether we need to get, like, hoofing on the ship or to get over to a taxi. But no, it's time for us to start flying.
Alright, well, here's a jar of hooch. Yesterday was a really good year. H1, take us to it, and I'm guessing we're cutting close to the end of the session.
Yep,
Someone
that'll
remind
do
me
it.
to give that...
God
Someone
fucking
remind-
damn it!
Someone remind me to give that droid a nude bubble bath. Oil bath. You need to mark it down somewhere, because I will forget.
I mean, look, we've got a few hours of journey. We've got at least an hour of journey ahead of us. That's enough time for an oily bath.
Can't we at least do 30 more minutes?
No, we actually cannot.
Damn it.
Stray, you can put information like that on your on the G-Doc yourself.
G-Doc.
Can we
Yeah,
do 10 more minutes, Saban?
No.
Damn it.
What is it you would want to do, DCL? Maybe
I want to at least
that would
see what's
get a
going
better
on.
response.
At least want to get to the site and then stop before shit's about to hit the fan or whatever.
Alas,
No, I'm
Stray
good,
has
I'm
to leave
getting
in, like,
underway.
actually 10 minutes, so...
I actually appeared like 20 minutes early because he's a cunt.
Okay, well, even worse then.
Oh, you're going out for drinks and stuff?
Joe is having a birthday party. And
Oh.
so he insists on me coming tonight. Despite the fact that this is my only day off and I have to be back for work tomorrow.
Sorry, I guess I was on a bio break when you mentioned that.
Alright.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will call it there, and next time we will pick up with this War Horizon event. And see...
It's fine. If we
Oh,
fuck it up, we
yeah.
know that the war starts back anyways.
Yeah,
Alright,
it's
well-
an inevitability.